This is the spec for the module on direct and inverse variation. And the whole idea here is for students to recognize when two variables vary directly or they are proportional to the inverse of each other. So there's two types of questions we'll have. One is where we state it in words, and then we ask them the choice that could be the relationship between the two variables, and then we'll do it the other way around. So the first would be, and we could change up the variable so it always doesn't look the same. A is, and there's several ways we could say it. We could say directly proportional, or we could say A varies directly, or, well, let's start. A is directly proportional to B, which of the following equations could be, or maybe we say potentially, or let's say could express the relationship between A and B. And we'll give a bunch of choices. Obviously, all of them should be wrong except for one of them. So an incorrect choice would be A times B is equal to, you could put a variable there. You could say K, or you could put a number there. So AB is equal to 10. Another incorrect choice would be that A is equal to B plus 5. That's another incorrect choice. Another incorrect choice would be B is equal to 2 over A. And another incorrect choice would be A is equal to 3 over B. And then the correct choice, there's two ways to express the correct choice. We could express it either as A over B is equal to, let me make up a number, 3. That would be a correct choice. Or that correct choice could be B over A is equal to 3. This would also be direct proportionality. Or, maybe most obviously, it would be A is equal to 7b. Or you could even do B is equal to 7a. All of those would be valid answers for the correct choice. And so you could, you could go through you could say A is directly, if when the student clicks on the hint, you could say A is directly proportional to B means that A is equal to K times B, where K is some constant. And depending on how you do it, you could say, if this was the choice, you could immediately say that if K is 7, or you could say that A is equal to 7b fits this, I guess you could say mold if you want, fits this pattern with K equal to 7. Now, it's going to be a little bit more involved if we did the problem like this. If the correct answer was something like, let me clear that out. Let's say we put the correct answer as, I don't know, B, write this down. B is equal to 9a. Right? This would have also been a correct answer, but it's not obvious that fits this mold. But you could say or you could say another way, this would be the next hint, another way to think about it is dividing, or let me rewrite it this way. divide both sides by k, and you get b, or let's say 1 over k times a is equal to b. And then you could say choice, then the answer will be b is equal to 9a fits this pattern, where 9 is equal to 1 over k. And I encourage you, if you change the wording, whatever you think makes things most clear. Now, the other types of problems here, this was obviously direct variation. You could change the a and the b, swap them around, make them x and y, make them a, b, and c, whatever letters you want. Now, the other one is obviously if we want inverse proportionality. So here. And the other thing you could change is this directly proportional. So there's several ways you could have written this. You could have written directly a is directly proportional to b. You could have written a and b vary directly. Or you could say that a and b are in direct variation. And all of those would be, that's good so that the students can see it different ways. So let me write those down just for your, so there's a is directly proportional to b. The other ways you could write it are a and b vary directly. I think it would be useful if it switches up. Or it could be a and b are in direct variation. Direct variation. All of those would be valid ways to view it, and it would be good for students to see it. Now, obviously, the other option is for a and b to be directly proportional to each other's inverse, or to vary, or to be the inverse of each other, or vary inversely, or an inverse variation, maybe is the cleanest way to write it. So let me clear this out. Here. So we could write, and I'll do x and y now just so we could change up things. We could write x is inversely proportional to the, or inversely proportional to y. Which, same question, which of the following expressions or equations could be, or could define the relationship between x and y. And once again, the choice is here. We want most of them to be incorrect. So the correct answer, we could put x is equal to 1 over y, or 5 over y. It could be xy is equal to some number. So let's say it could be like xy is equal to some number, let's say 10. Incorrect answers would be x over y is equal to 5. Maybe y is equal to 10 minus x. Maybe x is equal to 8y. And then you could do, I don't know, you could do y over x is equal to 7, and obviously change up the answers. Correct answers here, it could also be x is equal to 10 over y is equal to 10 over x. You could change the 10. I think you get the idea. And then based on what the correct choice is, appropriate hints, just like we did in the last type of direct and inverse variation problem.